Ladies and gentlemen, we're off to the races, like I normally say. It is another wonderful podcast with yours truly, Jim Francis Meza. And guess what? This week will not disappoint because this week we have a young lady who can do it all. She can basically do everything across the spectrum when it comes to the film industry. She's in front and behind the camera, and she can sing. Get this. She can sing as well. She's this lady, she started in Hollywood. Well, Austin is Texas, where she came out of or hailed from. Wonderful place, right? And you know what? She wasted no time. She got into she won a scholarship, I think, to the New York Film Academy in LA, beautiful California, which brings her to California. She's been on a bunch of films. She is awesome. She's one called Bitchass with Todd, rest in peace. Oh my God. I just went and saw the last installment of Final Destination. I thought it was brilliant. But he also kind of looks into the camera and kind of says kind of his goodbye, almost like he's parting ways with his people. You guys, she is phenomenal. Her film, I think she created this film, if I'm not mistaken. It's God with Us, I think, is the name of the film. And it's won South by Southwest. Okay, she's 2022. It won some accolades. So you're gonna hear all about it because where's South by Southwest? It's in Austin, Texas. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Belle Guillory.
Thank you, Jim. What an introduction. I have to say, thank you. Thank you.
I am beyond stoked to have you on. It's insane. So is it God Be With Us, right?
God Be With Us, yes. I was God saying it behind in the green room. But yes, God Be With Us.
Like, dude, what is wrong? I saw you going like this. No. Hey, but you know what? You know what? God Be With Us tonight. For real. And I really loved so your dad, let's talk about this film before we continue because I really love God. So I want to talk about, give us a synopsis. So your dad in the film is a pastor of a mega church, right?
Yes.
And you're going from a private school, from a parochial school and now you're going mainstream. You're going to go to a regular school.
Yeah, we're going to go.
And your mom says, God be with us.
Right? Yes, you don't know what she's in store for. Going to a public high school. Her world has been twisted upside down.
Upended. Oh my God, I want to hear all about it. So given the as social constructs and people have this way of doing things, I love that this movie is so refreshing. First of all, congrats, because you're part of this is a brainchild. You're part of, is this your
Yes. It is my child, my baby that I've been carrying.
Okay. And I love it because it's made for the family. Now I like one of the things that stood out, it's Fox Soul, right?
Also, yes, it is now it aired live on Saturday and now it'll be available to stream on Fox Soul.
Nice. I love it. And so where Fox Soul, so you just I could download like no different than Netflix and all the other stuff.
Okay. So yes,
like
how
Pure
do you
Flix, like Pure Flix.
So yes, you can download their app, but also if you have like YouTube TV, it's a channel. It's like on Roku, you could download it. So you could download it on Apple TV, whatever you got, download the app. Or if you got YouTube TV, it's like a channel. So yeah.
Okay, that is fantastic. So how did you go from Bitchass to God Be With Us?
Oh Lord. Okay, well, that's the thing. When you auditioning for things, you don't know what you're gonna get. And so
I'm only teasing you. But the film, I know where your mind is and your heart is, because you're creating movies that are family oriented, Yes, and I love that are good for the family to watch. But you auditioned and landed a role where you play the only female in the cast of guys, and this is like a kind of like a Freddy Kreuger, if you will, like a slash. Well, the first African American slasher film, right? Like where the guy is tell us a little bit about the story, so I don't twist it too much.
You hit the nail on the head. So Bitchass, the title's so funny. It's pretty much the first Black Michael Myers, the first Black Jason. Yeah. This is the first time we have our own Black slasher, exactly what you said.
Yeah.
And it follows these 4 kids pretty much. They want to rob this house and they don't know who they're robbing. And it's kind of like a mixture of Saw as well, because he sets up these traps based on child games.
Right.
And my game was Connect 4, someone else's was Operation, someone else's was Jenga. So you don't know like what you're gonna get, because he was like obsessed with games as a kid. And so this is his way to get back at this game that bullied him.
And you play cricket.
Cricket, yes, love cricket. It's so that was absolutely so much fun, and it was a great cast.
How fun was that to work with Todd? What was that like?
So honestly, we didn't even get to meet him. He filmed a completely separate day. But seeing him in the film when we finally saw the final together, I was talking to the director. They said that they were scared on set.
I know. God. Yes, they were scared. They were scared.
Voice was just so like enriching that they were just like, okay, one take, that's good. That's what
that's the Candyman, for crying out loud.
That is the Candyman, and Lord knows he scared me as a kid. So yeah. But we had some great people. Sean McKinney,
good actors.
Yeah, he was also in Snowfall. Yeah, we had some great people. So it was definitely great.
I'm happy. I can hardly wait to watch it, by the way. I'm gonna watch it.
It's on Paramount Plus, Showtime Plus, BET Plus, Amazon.
There you go. I'm obsessed with horror flicks. I grew up with Michael Myers, Halloween, and a Nightmare on Elm Street. And I'm gonna tell you something, okay?
Tell me.
I used to be a limo driver. You see the little car in the corner?
Oh.
Yes, this is my podcast. My podcast is Juicy Diva's Confessions of a Limo Driver is my other podcast. See? I can flip between both of them.
That. I know that you have stories to tell.
Yeah. So guess who I drove? I drove 2 awesome, legendary people. One of them is not with us anymore. And it's not Tony Todd. I wish.
I was about to say, was it
I drove. Todd? Go ahead.
I thought it was going to be Tony Todd.
It's Wes Craven. And ready for this? Drum roll, please. Oh, okay. There you go. I had Robert Englund.
What?
Freddy Kreuger. Yep. Freddy Kreuger.
The fact that you love horror films. And then you got to drive them. Freddy Kreuger, that's an actually really good one as well. It scared me because I love my dreams, but I grew up watching scary movies. My grandmother loved scary movies. She kept it on the Sci-Fi Channel, which is yes.
Yeah. I used to, instead of singing lullabies to my 21-year-old son, he doesn't know this. He was a kid. I would do like 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock.
Is he okay? We need to check up on him. I need to talk to him.
He's doing really well, actually. He's doing pretty good. He's a forensic science. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, totally kidding. No. But yeah, so I drove him, and get this. You're not gonna believe this. You ready for this, Belle? Obviously, guys, these are little nuggets that I'm trying to dump in there. You guys are gonna love all this information when it comes out. So as it turns out, Robert Englund was telling me the actor behind the character, behind the guy with the knives or fingers. He told me that. He says, get this, Jimmy boy. He said, I was part of the making of Halloween.
Wow.
So apparently when you watch Halloween, it seems like it's in Indiana someplace. I don't know.
Yeah.
Someplace, but it's in Pasadena. It's in South Pasadena. Okay. It takes place in South Pasadena, and so there's like leaves all over, but they didn't have so much money. Okay, shoestring freaking deal they were dealing with, right? Budget, and so they decided to pick up all the the leaves, and they had to. That was their job. That was his job and one other PA's job.
What?
Just like a PA guy or so for Halloween 1978. True story. Can't make this up.
And then look where he ended up. Wow.
He ended up killing the babysitters.
It's just full circle. That is crazy. Wow, that is a story.
Great story. So now we got the sidebar out of the way. Let's talk about the reason why we're here. We're here to talk about all the accolades that you've been up to, all the stuff that you deserve to be, to honestly be spoken about. The very cool and famous Belle Guillory in the house.
Put your hands up.
Belle, you created your own entertainment company, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Called Guillory Entertainment, following my last name.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you muster all the confidence level and the grit to keep going to say, I'm just going to do this? Or when did this idea come about? I'm just interested as a person that wants to create their own entertainment company per se.
Well, yeah, honestly, it's confidence. Like you said, it does take a lot of confidence. It takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of believing in yourself when no one else does. So pretty much what made me start it was I wanted to create my own stories and tell my own stories. I first started out as an actor out here, as you know, with Bitchass. But the audition game is a game. You could be auditioning for a minute. And even me, I was out here for at least, I think 3 years auditioning before I booked Bitchass. Like, it was a grind. Yeah.
That's a grind.
And so, yeah, so I was like, you know what? I want to tell my own stories. I have so many stories to tell. And I come from a big family. I'm the eldest of 8. So I love family content as well. And that's kind of what inspired God Be With Us. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just make the whole entertainment company. At first, I wasn't sure if I wanted to use my last name, but my sister was like, no, this needs to be in the family. You just need to use the last name Guillory. And Guillory means powerful, it means desire, it means will. And so I was like, you know what? Yes, this can be that testament to tell these powerful stories, to tell stories that make people feel empowered. Okay.
Right on. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So you have such a dynamic rise in this industry, though, and like you get, how do you land a scholarship with NYFA, no less? Can you take us back to that moment, like when it happened? Where were you, and were you pinching yourself?
Yeah. Oh, no one's ever asked this. Thanks. Okay, so I was actually in Texas, and I was getting my bachelor's degree in marketing. A lot of people don't know that. I was getting my bachelor's degree in marketing. I was in my final year, and my friend was like, Belle, there's this talent agency down the street. Like, you need to go. Because I started acting. A lot of people don't know. When I first started acting, I was 14, 15, and my mom took me to LA. But we couldn't move out here. You already know we had a bunch of kids. No one could make it happen. So I would do like self-tapes on DVDs, like for Shake It Up and like all the Disney stuff. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go to college. That's when I felt the whole rejection from auditions. It was like, dang, this sucks. But so I was in college. My friend was like, go to that talent agency. I went, and they're like, hey, there's this competition in Dallas. You should go. I went. I won like second place in the monologue competition. And then the NYFA people were like, here. And they were like, we see a lot of potential in you to not just act, but they were actually one of the first people that were like, we can see you directing. We can see you doing all sorts of things. Like, you should come. And and from there, I was like, you know what?
They lit that fire under your feet.
They did. And at first I wasn't sure, I'm not going to lie, but my mom encouraged me. My mom was like, you should do it. You've always wanted to do it. Because, when you see your dream, or you see like, I got my degree in marketing, I had like an internship at Belle Helicopter where they build helicopters for the government. So it's like the safe route, or like, I'm multifaceted, but the safe route, or go towards your dreams. So you kind of need those people around you that do believe in you and support you. So yeah, like you said, light that fire. And so that's what brought me out here.
I'm amazed. A person from Austin, Texas to Hollywood, and you make that trek down here. And then, the fact that you followed your dreams, I commend you. Kudos to you. It takes a lot of, it really takes relentless, just believing in yourself and having that continue to feed that dream, and not allow, like you said, you could have gone the safe route like a lot of people do. However, the safe route is a safe route, but creatively, I think creatively, speaking creatively, it dies,
It dies.
somehow. And then your happiness sort of wanes. Like you can't really be happy if you're not doing what you love doing. And so because you've done this for so long, it was and it was par for the course for you to just continue to come out here and then do your due diligence, work on getting landing those gigs, and then you landed Bitchass. How did you prepare for cricket?
Okay, so I love Friday. Chris Tucker is one of my favorite. Smokey is one of my favorite characters. I love Chris Tucker. And it definitely had that 90s vibe. They're literally like 90s kids, grew up in LA. So I was trying to pull from, okay, what's 90s, what's LA? And I actually had a friend, she was reading with me. She is from South Central. And she was like, Belle. Yeah, shout out to them there. She was like, Belle, you need an accent. So I was like, you know what? I remember listening to the end of like a Kendrick Lamar song and Nipsey Hussle. I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me get into this vibe. Yeah. Good. Yeah. And so it was really fun.
Body it pretty well, yeah.
That is so funny. Yeah. Hey, she's one of the guys. She wants to be one of the guys. And I grew up as a tomboy myself. Most of my friends, like in the 6th grade, were guys. So maybe I just pulled from that as well. And so yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Now you perform in Valley, the Valley song, and it earned you some nominations. Could you shed light on that?
Yeah, so Valley Song is a beautiful play by, I think his name's Athol Fugard or something. Sorry if I'm butchering it. And it was at the Long
Dude, man, he's a prominent guy.
He is, and it was at the Long Beach Convention Center.
LBC.
Yes, the International City Theater. So with that, it was a two-person play. I played a South African girl who dreams of being a singer, and she wants to move to Johannesburg, and her grandpa, they live on a farm, is like, no baby, no. And it was so beautiful. I got to be so many different parts of myself. I got to be, because I understand what it feels like to follow a dream, so I really tapped into it so easily. The accent, studied it. It was a lot of fun. And I did get accolades. I also sang in it. Since you brought up my singing, right. I sing in it as well, since she wants to be a singer. And I got nominated for the Broadway World Award for Best Supporting Actress.
Robbie Awards too, right?
Robbie Award as well for Best Dramatic Actress. So yeah, so that was really incredible. And we also got featured in LA Times as like the shows to see. Like, so that was really incredible. And shout out to my co-star in that, Michael Shepard. He was in the play with me playing my grandpa, and I casted him in God Be With Us as my dad.
That's your pops in that. He's good. Yeah. I saw a trailer. Yeah, so he is the mega church pastor, huh?
Yes, he plays it.
Plays that guy. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. It's fantastic. Well done, if I may say so. So you had, did you have everything to do with? How difficult is it to put together a film? It's like a 16-minute film,
yes,
right? Short film, 17-minute short film.
Yes, sir. It's about 16, 17 minutes long. With that process, because originally I wrote a pilot for it, which is a 30-page pilot.
I don't know if the God wants to continue. Oh, what's happening? It's lagging.
I know. You like
a little
froze.
Bit here. Can you hear?
Okay, hold on. I can hear you, but you're frozen. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could see you. We lagged.
Yeah, you're frozen.
At some point, like for 2 minutes.
Do we gotta go out and come back? Okay, you're back. You're back.
I thought we're in a film.
Oh no.
Film together or something, and someone's about to slash.
Okay, they're slashing your side, sir. Okay. Okay, yeah, you're still lagging.
Going on here? Hey, we're back! Woo!
We're back. We're better.
All right. Thank you so much. Juan the Prince, ladies and gentlemen. I got I was losing my shit. Like honestly, I shouldn't say this. Am I okay to say this? Okay. I was completely like, what is going on here? And I started freaking out, but God Almighty, God be with us. Boom, we're back. Like a crazy. That's right. That's it right there. See? And the rain may have had something to do with it. So we had a little hiccup in the whole deal, in the production of this wonderful episode that we're hosting tonight with the one and only Belle Guillory. Let's continue this. Okay, so let's dive back into where exactly did we leave off. We were talking
about God be with us somewhere.
Yeah, God be with us. And, okay, and so did you have going into this production? How did you birth this idea? Where did it spring from? Where did it sprawl from? Where did it brew from? Or were you something like you thought about for a while in doing?
Yeah, for sure. It was a while in the process, just because it is loosely based off of my life. And I always knew I wanted to write a story about my life. But what really it's multiple things that brought us together. One, I love family comedies, especially Black family sitcoms, Fresh Prince, Sister Sister, Everybody Hates Chris. And I feel like we were missing that for a while.
I got Urkel. Carl
Matters. Yes, those are iconic. And I feel like we don't have that nowadays anymore, like at all. And so I wanted to bring that back. Also, we don't see a lot of Black teen coming of age stories. Like That's So Raven was my jam. Yeah. Everybody Hates Chris. And so those reasons were part of it. But then my personal story, I was telling a mentor at the time, just stories about my family, my high school adventures. And he was like, you need to write about this. And as soon as he said it, we went and we saw Kenya Barris, the creator of Blackish, talk at USC, because he was a professor at USC and at NIFA. And Kenya Barris was talking about and Kenya Barris was talking about how Blackish is based off of his family. And so from there, he was like, my mentor was like, that's what you need to do. And so I just had started writing it, and it's evolved so much from like the very first draft. And yeah, that's kind of what birthed it. And I come from, like I said, a big family. I come from a religious background as well. But when I got into high school, I was like, man, I'm ready to live my high school dreams. When you see those high school movies, they're going to parties, even though they're like 28 playing 17-year-olds, but they're going to parties. They're sneaking out the house. I was like, it's time for me to live my dreams. And throughout all the shenanigans, the sneaking out the house, the going to house parties, all the things I did do, I genuinely felt like God was with me throughout all of it. That he was just with me, laughing at me like, girl, what you doing now? Or if I was like, please God, don't let my mom find out, or something, like he had my back. Like it was just like he was my homie.
It sounds like God is your homie. Remember that Jesus is my homie t-shirts? Some time ago, people have those bumper stickers as well. So it sounds like you had a heck of a time doing this film, and it also sounds like it was an introspective kind of thing, like very introspective, where you felt you dug in deep, and this is your family and this is how you feel. And so a lot of it was kind of almost like, basically a mirror of what your life is like, and what you or perhaps going as far as maybe even maybe certain things you didn't get to do that you got to do through the character. Vicarious. So, there's always that, like, you get to play these characters that you normally wouldn't, because we were offline, and right when we got on, I scared you, remember? And you said, well, what's funny is, ironically, like, I never really liked myself personally, scary films, like me personally. So you never thought you'd play this, and then here you are playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is the funny thing. I was actually telling someone, because we had the premiere recently, and she was saying that I inspired her to like write her own stuff. And I told her, I told her, what do you audition for? She was like, mostly comedies. And I told her, when I was auditioning, I would mostly get dramas. I would get the things that I couldn't really portray. And that's another reason why I wrote this, because it got to show like a really goofy, silly side. Like, and yeah, range. No, or I never thought that was gonna
happen. So it's good to show range, and then it challenges you as a performer, right?
Yes, 100%.
And now, speaking of performers, like you train as a vocalist and a dancer. How you know, how did, like, doing the full spectrum now, you know what I mean? Like full circle. You're here, you've done music and all at such a young age. Yeah. How do you feel about that? You're really doing big things, you know?
Oh, thank you. Wow, yeah, no, it is crazy. It really is, because this is like the childhood version of myself. Like little me had dreamed of this, you know, like acting, singing, dancing, doing all the things, and actually being in LA, you know, doing it, pursuing it, because I have goals higher than this. It's crazy. So even when you're like, you're doing big things, you know, sometimes you may not see that for yourself. So that's nice to hear that, because it's like something else you said about when you're working the safe route, you kind of lose that creativity. So I feel very blessed.
Creativity. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel very blessed to be able to be fully immersed in creativity and fully dive into like all the things that I've been interested in.
So speaking of which, like, what roles or genres have you not tackled yet that you wish to?
Oh, fantasy. I want to get to some fantasy. Let me get my British accent on. You know, Harry Potter, Narnia. I'm going through the woods.
Yes. So, you know, I see you and I think like you could totally pull off anything if you set your mind to. I think it takes a little harder work, but you have that it factor, you know, like you kind of can do comedy, and clearly you could do a little bit of slasher meets comedy. I don't know. I'm thinking this movie that I'm going to watch, I haven't seen Bitchass, but it sounds like it kind of brings all the genres together, huh? It just blends everything. It's not really a slasher. It's not entirely a slasher per se, right?
Exactly. No, there is a lot of comedy aspects in it, especially with cricket, as you'll see. I got to really pull out my improvisation.
Yeah, improvisation.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Yeah, because she was also comedic relief, so it was nice to like really pull that out.
And but then go ahead.
Yeah, there's some drama, pull out the heartstrings. There's some jumpy parts, but yeah, it's giving you all the feels. All the feels.
Yeah, that's what's up. So you want to improv a little right now? You down?
Okay, give us a scene.
So I'm okay. So suddenly you put me in a spot where I have to.
You said you want to improv. We improv together.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So you're the lady. So you're talking to yourself, and right now you're sitting at a bus stop talking to yourself about anything that comes to mind, and then I come along and, you know, I'm trying to win you over so you can come with me on a ride, because we're like two high school.
You're telling the whole story. Let's dive in. Okay. I'm beautiful. I'm talented. I got it going on. You got this.
Hey, Lizzie, don't I know you? Oh my God, I know you from second period, Mr. Lockman.
Yes, you lost weight, friend. You look good.
I caught you picking your nose. I caught you picking your nose the other day, by the way.
Listen, I put it on the back of your shirt without telling you.
God, I do it. That's why I figure we're a match made in heaven and we could just go out tonight. What do you think?
Oh, where are you taking me, friend?
Grab some ice cream, of course. They're shutting down. They're shutting down a Rite Aid. And so that's it. No more ice cream from Thrifty.
They got the Fruity Pebbles ice cream. I know you like the Fruity Pebbles one. We got to go now then.
Yeah, let's go now in a hurry. Okay, so just go ahead. Jump on the motorcycle. And scene. That's awesome. You're good, man. You're just like, it's just so fun. You must be able to do all kinds of stuff. And you know what? Do you ever do that kind of stuff on a whim? Like you're driving, do you do that? And people think this lady's crazy. Like you create narratives? Because my wife will tell you that I do narratives all day. I'm scripting. Does that ever happen when you're just
Yeah, it's funny because even in acting school, they'll tell you, like, look at people and make up a story about them.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, I could be driving. I feel like when I'm driving, though, people probably think I'm crazy because I'm popping it like it's hot. You know, and people are just standing still. I'm doing Mariah Carey, Beyonce in my car. So they think I'm psycho for other reasons.
Yeah. Hey, hey, Belle, we're having such a great time. I want to ask you, like, what's a meaningful piece of, like, you know, of feedback you've gotten, or you got a Q&A or some, like, somebody's a fan or a person is that's watching something you're in as giving you, and it could be anything. You're on the red carpet.
I've honestly, we did the film festival route with God Be With Us. Oh my gosh, you just made me think of so many things. Do I just got to give you one, or can I just
many
okay.
all over? Why one? There's no one answer for everything.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Bitchass, the executive producer Jonathan, he told me, and this was just the sweetest thing. He was like, Belle, like, you were the fan favorite, like, because I didn't go to South by Southwest when they premiered it there, and it won the audience award winner. They were like, Belle, you were the fan favorite, like. And then the cast member was like, Belle, you had the best scene in it. And so to hear that feedback, I was like, oh my gosh, that was so nice. And then, oh my gosh, Valley Song, when I did Valley Song, I remember a woman was like, you need to record music. And then there was also, there was this guy who worked the theater every night that we had the show, and he would cry every time. And he told me, he was like, you're going to be an EGOT. And that just moved me so much. People are so kind, so kind. And then with not Bitchass, God Be With Us, Lord forgive me, Jesus.
Just saying, oh, you Jim Bitchass. Okay, thank you. Like an endearing name.
And with God Be With Us, I've seen me creating it. Other actors that I, you know, have been friends with, they're like, Belle, now I'm going to create my own show, or I'm going to create my own series. Because, you know, like I said before, with acting, it is a waiting game. You know, you're auditioning, you're competing against other people, and they're trying to find out who's right for it. And so it does give you an opportunity to write your own stuff, to highlight your own skills. So I have a lot of actor friends that are like, yeah, Belle, I'm doing it now too. So that always inspires me, makes me happy that that's inspired people in that way. And then you made me think of one other thing at a film festival. Well, one, at film festivals with God Be With Us, you know, she's a teenage girl going through these things. Just at the premiere yesterday or Saturday, a grown 50-something, 60-year-old man was like, I teared up. I related to this 15-year-old girl, you know, and it comes from all different demographics. I'll have white men, old white men tell me, oh my gosh, I relate to it. White women, Black people, Hispanic people, everybody can relate to Belle. And that always moves me, because I'm like, wow, she can touch so many different people, young or old.
Right.
And then the last one,
go ahead.
Sorry. And then the very last one was,
this is the platform.
Yeah. Oh, and the last one was, a man told me, he was like, keep doing it. We need stuff like this, you know, to highlight God in a positive way. Because, you know, I want to show God can be your best friend. You know, I feel like a lot when it comes to in the industry or in church and society, he's strict. He's, you know, the disciplinary, which, yeah, he could be that too, but he's also a friend. He's also a homie. He's also a father. You know, and it's up to you to, you know, have that relationship with him. So
he's the most loyal friend, right?
Amen. He is. He really is. I had a conversation with him today. But
there's a friend that never changes. Only we change. And that's something.
Exactly. I
have a question for you. So when was it, like, how long do you still remember? Do you remember a time, the very first time you got, like, you know, somebody set you aside on the street and go, oh my God, it's you. And you got your first fan and, like, took a picture with you, or, hey, can I get a picture with you? When did that moment, that little watershed, transformative moment? Because that's kind of, we all kind of, even though people are like, no, I'm not, like, want to be a celebrity. Yeah, we all want to get to a place where someone can sort of say, hey, you know, I kind of know you and identify you as someone on TV or someone that they, like, these people, I loved your character. What about somebody that sees you on the street when you're just walking down the street? Has that happened?
That's funny. It has happened, but it did not happen based off of what you probably think. So something that I recently did all of last year was, I was a beauty live stream host for these popular beauty brands like Elf Beauty, Kimchi Chic Beauty, and I would have my own show. I'm dancing, I'm singing, I'm showing makeup. Awesome. I went to my hometown at the bank to open up a savings account, and the teller, she came up and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you look like this famous TikTok right now." I'm like, "Girl, I ain't famous on TikTok. I don't know what you're talking about." She's like, "No." And then she pulls up my TikTok. She's like, "That's you. I watch you. I watch your show all the time on Kimchi Chic Beauty. I love you. You are my favorite." And she was like, "But I thought you lived in LA." I'm like, "But my family's from here." From Texas. And I was visiting, I think it was around Christmas time. Yeah. And so, yeah, she took a picture. She wanted to take a picture and everything. And I was like, and my sister was with me. And she was like, "That was so cool." And I was like, "Yeah, I can't believe that." So you don't know where people are watching you from, I guess is the point of that.
That is so interesting. I mean, that's right, because you did a host of things in the way of streaming and stuff for companies, these huge magnificent companies.
Yeah, these
and
beauty brands. Yeah,
and you were able to and you showcase your talent in more ways than one there. And then somebody they spotted you at a bank.
At a bank.
I've had people say, "You look like someone I know. You look like this guy," and it's always been, some dude that they didn't like in school, and, and I'm like, "What the heck? I didn't go to this school." The wrong reasons. Oh, you want to take a picture? No, hell no. It's the last thing I want to do. I just want you to know that you really messed up and you were mean and it was foul what you did to someone. I'm like, I don't even know this person,
No,
but
you're about to get into fights that aren't even your fights.
I was thinking, like, here I am, like, all right, should I pose? Here, honey, hold my stuff. It's ready to take a picture. I'll take a picture with you. No, you don't understand. I don't remember you, but for the wrong reasons. You did this and this and this, and you're completely. I'm like, I didn't go to your high school. You got the wrong person. That's happened 2 separate times.
No,
yes, at least I wasn't a guy in a mugshot somewhere they're looking for. America's most wanted FBI list. But and I'm not kidding. It's happened a couple of times already.
At least you didn't owe anybody money, because people get serious about their money. You're still here with us.
I begged for my life. What are you talking about? Please. I got 10 cats. Who's going to feed them?
Seriously.
Yeah. So I've had nothing but fun here, and I don't want this. I don't want to end the show here because it's just some of the streaming is fantastic. We're having such a grand old time, but I do want to get your social media handles before we lift off and set sail.
Yeah.
What's
you can follow me at Belle Pepper. Get it? Belle Pepper?
Yeah, that's so cool. That's clever. That's
yes, but it's Peppa. Peppah. Gotta keep you on your toes.
Around.
No, and then make sure to follow God Be With Us at God Be With Us Film. And streaming on Fox Soul.
Okay. One last one. What was that movie that captivated you? One of the very first movies that said, "I want to do what she's doing."
Oh, that's so funny.
It's a movie, not a TV show.
I know you said movie, not a TV show. And then the first one I think of is not about a woman, it's a man. The Pursuit of Happiness. Beautiful. With Will Smith. Like, that movie made me feel like you could do anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
It was such a tearjerker. It was a tearjerker.
It is. My eyes literally started to twitch. Think of it. Like, yeah.
It was, God, the extremes you had to go through, man. That touched you, huh?
No, seriously. And it's a great movie, great story. So yeah, that one is definitely a big inspiration of mine.
Okay, and your celebrity crush, I guess.
Oh my goodness. I used to have celebrity crushes. I don't really have one nowadays.
Yeah, because now you work with them. These guys, like,
no, it does change. Like, when I was a kid, I was like, oh my gosh, this person, and then you may meet them, and then it's like, it ain't what I thought it was. Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah. Or they're a lot shorter, not judging. But I'm my celebrity crush.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Val Guillory. What else can I say? May the Lord bless you tremendously, and your cup always be overflowed with joy, peace, and everything the Lord can bestow upon you. Thank you so much. I feel I feel blessed to know you. And we had such a great time here on this podcast. And that is it, guys. Almost Famous Radio Podcast. Delighted to have you on. Yeah, it's just amazing. Maybe at some point we'll have you in the studio, okay?
Yes, let's do that. Well, thank you so much for having me. And y'all have a great night. Thank you.
I like the y'all, Austin. Take it back to Austin.
Yeehaw.
Thanks again, Belle. All the best to you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.